Good morning, and welcome to the First Universalist Church of Rochester, where we are called to nurture the spirit and to serve the community. I am Reverend Lane-Mairead Campbell. I use they, them pronouns, and it is my privilege and my pleasure to serve as your settled minister here. Leading worship with me this morning is Elizabeth Osta, using she, her pronouns. We have our fabulous Dr. Brock Chesvold up on the organ this morning, our music director. Emma Berry, she, her, is our technical support this morning. Lisa Gwinner and Shelley Adams, both she and her, are here for our online ministry team. Thank you for your ministry with our folks online. If you are here for the first time this morning, we especially welcome you. Thank you so much for making it to our worshiping community. We have a visitors form that can be found in the chat for our folks online, and that can be found in the pews for our folks in person by scanning a QR code. Please fill out the form so we can offer you a welcome beyond this worship service. We offer a UU and U session on the third Sunday of every month following the service, a question and answer time, a time to learn a little bit more about First Universalist. It takes place right back there and online, and our next one will happen on December 18th, so I'll see you there. Before we take a moment to turn to our neighbor and to offer a greeting, we really want to invite our online community and our in-person community to connect. I'll invite you to please turn towards our green camera over here with Emma, and to just offer a wave to our online worshiping community. It's good to have y'all with us this morning. If you are online, please pop into the chat to offer a greeting. If you're here at First Universalist, please let's take a moment to just turn to our neighbor and to offer a greeting this morning. Let us sing. Hello, I'm sorry to break up your conversations. I apologize for this every week, and every time I'm still sorry about it. But this morning we're going to sing together. Hymn number 51 is our opening hymn, Lady of the Seasons Laughter. Since it's not always one that we sing, we won't sing very often. Brock is going to play it through once for us on the organ, and then we'll join in. So please rise in body or in spirit, and let us sing together hymn number 51, Lady of the Seasons Laughter.
Lady of the seasons, laughter in the summer's warmth be near, when the winter follows after. Teach our spirits not to fear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning year, Sister of the evening starlight, in the falling shadows stay, here among us till nations. Bring our labors safe to bear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning out. Goddess of all time's progression, stand with us when we engage, hands and hearts to end oppression, writing history's fairer page. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning age. Please be seated.
Good morning. Happy first Sunday of Advent. In 2016, Dave and I were blessed to be able to travel with a Cornell program to Israel and Palestine. We listened to both peoples as they shared their fears, anxieties, and long years of living amidst hatred and strife. We listened to the world-famous artist Bansky, who created the walled-off hotel. It overlooks the separation wall, filled with artist offerings of issues plaguing the land. The hunger for peace was evident in every single one. We ended our trip with a stopover in Lisbon, Portugal, where we visited the shrine of Our Lady of Fatima, commemorating the 1917 miraculous appearance of the Virgin Mary to Francesco, Jacinta, and Lucia, 3 children from the village of Fatima. Movies and songs abound about this event, some less true than others. One of the songs played in our home on a 78 record throughout my youth was the tune that is yet within me, the words compelling. Our Lady of Fatima, we come on bended knees to beg your intercession for peace and unity. Dear Mary, won't you show us the right and shining ways? We pledge our love and offer you a rosary each day. The apparition occurred at a time most needed during World War I. A hunger for peace evident, a political ploy, a farce, a hope. Over the years, so much has changed, and still there are so many things that remain the same. The hunger for peace around the world is not diminished, nor our belief that being listened to and cared for make a huge difference, no matter what forms they may take. Come, let us worship together. Would Dave Van Arsdale, he, him, please come to light our chalice. As Dave lights our chalice at First Universalist Church and you light your chalices in your homes, will you join me in saying the chalice words in unison? May we be a people of welcome, here to grow in heart and mind and spirit. And may we reach out to serve our community. Please rise and body your spirit and join me in our affirmation of faith, followed by our doxology. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to the humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the source and meaning of life. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all.
be seated. It is my privilege and my honor, and I truly mean that, to be able to say each Sunday when we gather that I serve as your settled minister. These past 5 years have been certainly full. Yeah, thank you. To say the least, full of the unexpected, full of all we have been able to accomplish, full of growth and challenge and a whole range of emotions and experiences. One of my greatest joys in life is to get to work with you all and to get to work with our amazing staff. Dr. Brock Chesfold has grown in leaps and bounds with us as our music director and is an incredible music director. Howard and I were just talking about this before the service, how much we appreciate your work. Rev Michelle Yates continues to do the impossible in her ministry of connection with our families through a pandemic and beyond. Carol and Eris are currently upstairs providing excellent care in our nursery. Albert Lawson has stepped right in and held down both janitorial responsibilities as well as security duty. Emma Berry is a rock star, and I would not have my ministry without her. And Jack Cunningham has come on board to keep our congregation online and to help to keep that connection alive and relevant and well. This morning, our offering and what you give goes to our staff bonuses, a small token of appreciation for the vast work these folks do and for all they offer to our church community. I encourage you this morning to be generous as we take a collection for our holiday staff bonus. Visitors can drop your visitors form into the offering basket. You are invited to give online by scanning the QR code in your pews or to just drop an offering in the offering basket. For folks online, please click the link in the chat to give to First Universalist Church. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from our staff for your generosity this morning. So beautiful this morning. Thank you. Is anyone here familiar with the figure of the Black Madonna? Anyone? All right. Well, just to give you a bit of context before our story, through southern Italy and the world, there are Black Madonnas in Catholic churches, images of the Mary oft referred to as the Mother of God, usually accompanied by Jesus, both having dark skin. And I have some examples to show us this morning of a few Black Madonnas. Before these were Catholic churches, each one of these sacred sites were places people went to worship a goddess of creation, Cybele. Yet when it was time for the Catholic Church to move through the southern Italian landscape, these goddesses became Mary, and their setting was quite different. We have another one too. Yeah, it's beautiful. People came from all over to worship the Black Madonna in quite pagan ways to our eyes. Feasts are held. Parades happen where these statues are marched all over the village. Some crawl on their knees to her. Others lick and kiss the floor. There are drum beats and dances associated with the Black Madonna, different in different regions of Italy. This morning, I want to talk specifically about Mama Schiavona, also known as the Madonna del Monte Vergine. You can see in this image, her skin is not as dark as the other two. The Catholic Church has been making its way around to the paintings of the Black Madonna to lighten her skin and restore the paintings. A huge loss. Mama Schiavona has a similar story to many of the Black Madonnas. She was discovered washed up ashore, perhaps from a distant land or even with her origins in the sea, as Mary is the patron saint of the sea. The church she resides in was once a temple dedicated to Cybele, a goddess with Greek and Roman origins who had a devotional following of flamboyant eunuchs. People we know today had to walk the lines of gender back in their day. She was the great mother and a goddess of creation. Mama Schiavona has followed in Cybele's footsteps. The people who devote their lives as her followers are called feminelli. They are people who have been assigned male at birth who become women in devotional practice to the Black Madonna. There are also people who have been assigned female at birth who then identify as, and of course, become men. Mama Schiavona is the patron saint of the LGBTQ community. These feminelli carry forward rituals of the Black Madonna and are considered healers, people who possess divine insight as bestowed on them by Mama Schiavona. While originally seen as folks who practiced drag for rituals, feminelli are women, and they prefer to be addressed as women and have become active advocates for trans rights. All this happening within a Catholic church, in ritual, in underground spaces not always recognized by the Pope, but honored by the people in their community. Not what we might expect from the Catholic Church, perhaps, but as we continue our theme of underground, we highlight this underground deity and community as one holding sacred power and turning tables and heads in southern Italy. I'm going to share more with you all about this later, but therein ends our story this morning of Mama Schiavona. Let us take a deep breath and center ourselves as we enter into this reverent time of sharing the joys and sorrows of our gathered community. Let's just breathe together, in and out. As Elizabeth places stones into a bowl, I will read aloud the joys and the sorrows of our gathered community. If you're joining us online, please share your joys and sorrows in the chat. Oh, dear ones, we share a big joy this morning from a member of our congregation, Verdis Robinson, who went to see the Ministerial Fellowship Committee this weekend at the Unitarian Universalist Association and received preliminary fellowship. I know. He is cleared for ministerial search and ordination. Woohoo. I know. Big news. Big joy. We share a great joy this morning from Lisa Gwinner that Charlie Kortzel and I were married in this sanctuary 34 years ago yesterday, December 3rd. Happy anniversary, Lisa and Charlie. A great joy from Emma Berry. Joy to celebrate Thanksgiving for the first time with my birth family and be welcomed with open arms and hearts. Also some fun shenanigans with my little brother. Richard Reed shares a joy that he enjoyed a wonderful recital at Kilbourne Hall yesterday with several other church members. I've heard about it. Sounds like it was fun. From Kitty Forbush, an absolute joy from meeting my 1-year-old great nephew, Gabriel, and seeing all my Minnesota family 2,000 miles in my Honda Fit. This morning, we share a sorrow from Bridget Watts, who is mourning the death of her friend and a friend of this congregation, labor leader Bruce Popper, a brilliant, big-hearted warrior for justice. And certainly he will be missed, and he is actively missed. A sorrow also this morning from Bill Elwell. After getting home from Florida after the Thanksgiving holiday, Becky Elwell went to the doctor's office for a routine test, fell and fractured 3 ribs. She spent 3 days in the hospital and is now home and is healing and recuperating. And Becky, we are holding you in our hearts and holding healing intentions for you. We will drop 1 stone into the bowl for all the joys shared by our online community. And we'll drop a stone for all the sorrows shared by our online community. And let us drop 1 final stone into the bowl to represent all the joys and sorrows left unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. May all be held in the heart of love. I want to invite you now into a time of prayer and meditation. And I really want to invite you to just center down into yourself. Sit back in your chair or your pew, wherever you are. Allow your weight to be held. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Soften your gaze. And I want to just invite you to that space of listening within. To that space of hearing where you are in your spirit, in your body, in your heart, in this moment. Dear one, you are a blessing. You are a blessing to those around you. You are a blessing to this community, to our world. Dear one, I invite you into a moment of gratitude for the true gift that you are. Thank you. Thank you for waking this morning and making your way here, however you are here, and wherever here is. Thank you for continuing to breathe in, for breathing in that breath that gives life to us all. Thank you for your presence and for your arrival. Thank you for this moment. Dear one, you are a blessing, and you are loved just as you are. No matter where you have been this past week, no matter the experiences you may be holding where you carry shame or judgment or wishes to have acted and done differently, you are a blessing, no matter what. Thank you for your ability to listen
to observe. Thank you for your kind and generous acts. Thank you for the moments of recognition when you have fallen short. Thank you for being here. We hold gratitude this morning for the give and take that are characteristics of all of our lives. May we be open to receive the blessings that we truly are. And out of that openness, may we also find the strength to give. Thank you for being you. Thank you for the tasks you have taken on and the burdens you are laying down. Thank you for claiming this life, which is yours to claim and live and bring meaning and purpose to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are a blessing, dear one. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. Let us enter into a time of quiet reflection to reflect not only on the blessings that we ourselves are here in this community and in our lives, but also the blessings that others bring to us. Our hymn of contemplation to be sung from our seats this morning is hymn number 391, Voice Still and Small. We'll sing it twice through. Deep inside, oh, I hear you call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain singing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears. This past year, in early September, when it was still warm out and the sun was shining, I decided to go out for a walk. I was building this practice of taking myself out on coffee dates. So I'd stop by Fuego, right over here on Woodbury. I'd pick up a coffee and bring a bag with a quilt and some books over to the Genesee River, where I'd lay in the sun and read books and let the river just flow by. And I feel like it sounds like literal heaven in these cold and dark December days. I was walking along the walking path beside the river, just past the skate park, when a silver something on the sidewalk caught my eye. Like the sun just glinted off of it right at that moment. I continued to walk, but my brain was stuck a few steps back. Something in the back of my brain said, let's turn around and look and see what that was. On the ground was a token from a necklace or something similar for Our Lady of Medjugorje. Now, if you do not remember this, because I had to look it up, this is from the story of Mary appearing to 6 teenage Croatian girls in 1981. It was not a symbol I had really seen before, so I took to Googling all sorts of information from my phone about this Marian apparition. So much for the quiet day reading books by the river. It turns out some of the girls were believed and others were not. These apparitions continued, for some for a year, for others over the course of 5 years. Some claimed new apparitions after the fact, that Mary was appearing in their lives and bringing them messages. Some of these messages were used to challenge the decisions of local priests. And while I cannot tell you all of the political intrigue and the inward workings that happened around these apparitions, because that is a whole nother sermon in and of itself, they certainly drew into question these teenage girls. Who has the power in the church to speak with authority? Can we believe these teenage girls who claim to have seen Mary? Are the messages that they bringing forth genuine? In a religious tradition that relies heavily on religious power being passed through men and male voices, what does it mean that these teenage girls could hear from Mary rather than the men all around them? This was a fascinating discovery for me on an unexpected September afternoon. Now, I have to tell you this morning that I believe in that moment that Mary, the Madonna, was reaching out to me. And I understand that for some of you, this may feel hard to believe. Feels a bit reminiscent of what these teenage girls experienced, though I certainly have not yet received any concrete messages from Mary. But more like, will you believe me if I tell you this? Would you be able to suspend skepticism for long enough to hear me out? And I do understand the skepticism. It was just a token found on the ground after all. And I am not Catholic, though my extended family on my mother's side is. But this discovery helped me to plunge a bit into the stories of the Black Madonna through a book that was already on my shelf, just waiting to be read, Healing Stories of the Black Madonna by Alessandra Belloni. It helped me to begin to see ways my story connected with Mary's story, the star of the sea and the moon of the church. See, I connect to Mary in a much more earth-based and witchy way. Ways that some of the plants I use in my spiritual practice are plants associated with Mary and the Madonna. And it is Advent after all. So I figured, why not share this bit about this new relationship with you this season? So I want to just pause here for a moment and give a bit of Advent-related context. At the beginning of the journey towards the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, as Luke describes it, there is an angel who appears to Mary to tell her she will bear this miracle son. Mary, of course, cannot believe this, as she is a virgin, and proceeds to ask many questions, each answered with the same calm of the angel, "Do not be afraid." Seems like they were always saying that. And then this angel, Gabriel to be exact, foretells of the birth of this miracle child who will be the Son of God. After hearing the good news, the story says, Mary accepted her fate, sat with it for a moment, visited with her sister Elizabeth, who offered her a blessing. And then Mary goes into a song to testify of God's greatness, a song about all God had healed. This is what they write. And Mary said, "My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, for he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him from generation to generation. He has performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty. He has helped his servant Israel, remembering to be merciful to Abraham and his descendants forever, just as he promised our ancestors." I like to imagine Mary sitting in her living room with her sister, in her sister's house, sharing this song with her dearest family member. I like to imagine she is both taken aback and also still coming to terms with what she is being asked to do. It almost sounds like she's convincing herself of what she must do. That this God is great and has overturned oppressive systems and is full of mercy. Like she has to say it aloud to continue to move forward with this plan into this role of carrying in her own body this prophet who will change the world. I love the way she claims her blessing. The ways she knows she is blessed, not just because of what the angel Gabriel told her, but also because she has been blessed in this home by her sister Elizabeth. After she finishes singing, she remains with Elizabeth for 3 months before returning home, where she discovers that she is with child and where her underground journey to Nazareth had to begin. To know Mary as a mother, as a woman, as a disciple of Jesus is one thing. Many folks gather at this time of year to tell the stories of the events leading up to Jesus' birth, around which Mary is a divine vehicle, miraculous virgin mother, and someone who must be on the run to escape empire and the oppressive census that would rule her child illegitimate, explicitly leading to his death. But to know Mary as a Black woman, as a goddess of creation, as a patron saint to the LGBTQ community, as one who knows in her bones she is blessed and loved by God. I imagine those of you here who grew up in the Catholic tradition or even in Protestant realms were not exposed to this image of Mary. The Black Madonna makes clear that Mary was Black. And as Alessandra Belloni, Black Madonna scholar and teacher, shares with us, God is a woman and she is Black. It is the divinity of Mary that we so often do not see. And that is because we have relied on the Bible to tell the stories of Mary, rather than the people and the communities that continue to follow her and have been doing so for many, many, many years. The story of Mary is much larger than the whitewashed stories we are used to at this time of year. It is about a goddess of creation whose giving birth, while significant, is not the full story here, which I think can truly be said of every mother, of every woman who has chosen to have a child or children. Being a mother is a significant part of who you are, but it doesn't tell the whole story of where you have been, what you have experienced. You are more than the role you have had in your family system and in the lives of others. You are more than vehicle, more than the care you provide. As I shared in our story this morning, there are Black Madonnas in many parts of our world, but a special concentration of them in southern Italy. These Black Madonnas represent the connections between southern Italy and Greece and Africa. They help the women who live in these regions of the country where their skin is often dark to see themselves in Mary and as a goddess of creation. I wonder in what ways these Black Madonnas might have been helpful to my grandmother, who came from southern Italy, who immigrated here to this country and was often told that her skin was too dark by other lighter-skinned European immigrants. I wonder in what ways knowing about the Black Madonnas of southern Italy might have been helpful to her and her family in bridging the divide between themselves and their Black neighbors, which the whiteness and white culture of the United States forced them to assimilate into whiteness, of course, and they did so by discriminating against their neighbors. By seeing themselves as superior to Black people, they were able to effectively become white and to claim white privilege. The healing journeys of what could be brought about by the Black Madonna, but just was not to be back then. I will be taking a portion of my sabbatical next summer into fall to explore and learn more about the Black Madonna, as I focus my time on learning about Italian folk magic. Italian folk magic, which so often has had to go underground and remain in practices of the Catholic Church so that we can still practice these old folk traditions in plain sight, but not necessarily have to be judged for them. My brother and I plan to travel to Italy, to Popoli, where our family is from in the Abruzzo region. And I will likely travel to see Mama Schiavona as well as a few other Black Madonnas throughout southern Italy. I'm not exactly sure as of yet what this journey will look like, and I'm hoping to leave some of it to mystery, to the unknown. But I was delighted to learn that many of the feasts celebrating the Black Madonna happen in the month of September, early September, in fact. So I will likely be visiting then. As a trans person, to see Mama Schiavona feels particularly needed and healing personally as I continue to reconcile the oppressive anti-LGBTQ plus stance of the Catholic Church with these religious and cultural roots I live deeper into claiming. It is Advent. And the Black Madonna calls us to remember the divinity of the mothers, of the earth, of the people in this world living with Black skin, of those who walk and move along the gender margins. The Black Madonna invites us to examine the ways religion can whitewash the old stories and deny the existence of communal practices and claiming. She invites us to go underground, to see what is beneath what we can see on the surface, to see what survives in communal practice rather than what we are just told, the stories we are told on the surface. Let us go there. Let us go underground and believe what we experience. Let us hold out possibilities for more to be revealed around the stories we tell this season. Let the Black Madonna lead us towards a darkness divine found in underground practices and communities. Let us be healed by the stories of the goddess of creation as personified in this woman, keeping an open mind to what we might be in need of. May we know we ourselves are blessed by those around us and blessed by ourselves. And may we be a blessing to this world. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. Dear ones, when Brock and I were trying to think about what kind of hymns we would sing on a Sunday like this, we thought, let's sing some songs that refer to the goddess. Why not? You know, we could do a little bit more of that as a church, I think. So this morning we are going to sing hymn number 1069, Ancient Mother. It's in your teal hymnals if you need the hymnal to accompany you. And it's kind of a chanty feel to it. So I feel like let's sing it like 3 times through. Does that sound good? Great. So please rise in body or in spirit as we chant hymn number 1069, Ancient Mother. I hear you calling, Ancient Mother. I hear your song, Ancient Mother. I feel your laughter, Ancient Mother. I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice flame this morning. Let us read together the words printed on our screen and in your orders of service. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again. As we close our service this morning, I invite you to place a hand over your heart, wherever you are, reminding us that we are connected here in this space, heart to heart and online. I'll invite you to look around the room and see who is here with you in this space. For folks online, to turn to gallery view and see who is here with you today. These are your companions on this journey. These are the folks we continue forward with. Dear ones, today, may we challenge the old ancient stories. May we come back around to the even more ancient stories. May we seek underground to see what is below the surface. And may we know ourselves truly to be a blessing. A reminder this morning and every Sunday when we gather that you are loved. And out of that love, may you go and be love to whomever you meet. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so.